Okay, here we go with the final video on the rules of Zombicide. A couple of things I need to clarify. On the last video, I said with ranged weapons that he could only Josh here if he was shooting into a zone away or 2 zones away. He could specify which character he was aiming at if he had the shotgun and the scope. It's not the shotgun and the scope, it's the rifle and the scope. So that's just a little clarification there. Also, I didn't mention this marker. At the start of the go, Amy goes first. When all the survivors have gone, at the end of the round, you move this token down to Josh, which would mean Josh would be the next one to go. So if you had another survivor here, on the next round, that would move down to him, and so on and so on. What I want to do with this video is just go talk about the zombie phase and show you some of the zombie cards and what they can do, and then on the next video it will be a little tutorial scenario where I'll try and incorporate as much as I can into it so you can see how things work in actual gameplay. Okay, so when all the survivors are gone, it's the zombie go. And the zombies have 3 actions that they do. It's attack, move and spawn. So if we've got this situation here, we've got Josh. The only way a zombie can attack a survivor is if they're in the same zone as the survivor. So in this situation, this door's open by the way, in this situation this zombie couldn't attack, so it'd have to move. Again, he would have to move. I'll come to the runners in a minute. Fatty would move, this zombie would move, and that zombie there would just move around inside that building. And that is all that those figures can do. The runner, on the other hand, gets 2 goes. So the first go is to attack, but he can't, so he moves. And then he goes again. He can't attack, so he moves. So that's the advantage of being a runner. If you're in this situation, with the runner, he can't attack, so he would move into this area with Josh, and this time he can attack, so he'd attack him. If the runner was already started in this zone, he attacks him once, and then he attacks him again for a second go. So that's why runners are really important, to try and get rid of them as soon as you can. With I'm just trying to think now, sound tokens. These are the sound tokens. This is important when moving zombies. If you've got 2 survivors, you've got Josh here and you've got Ned all the way over there, and you've got zombies spread around the board. So I'll just put those 3 zombies there. Now this zombie will automatically move towards Josh because he can see him. These zombies here can't see Ned or Josh. So what they would do is go to the nearest sound. So if you've got Josh here, Ned, sorry, has caused more sound, these zombies would move towards Ned. If Ned had made 2 lots of sound and Josh had also made 2 lots of sound, the zombies would have to split. Now that's okay if you've got an equal amount of zombies. You've got 2 walkers there, so they'd have to split. So one would have to go that way and one would have to come this way. If you've got, in this situation, say 3 zombies, you wouldn't be able to effectively split them. So what you have to do is you have to move 2 towards one sound, and then you would have to go into your zombie pack and add an extra zombie to this pile and then move them that way. You have to split them evenly. The same with fatties. If you've got 1 fatty there, you'd have to add another fatty, and that one would go that way and the other fatty would come this way. The only way you wouldn't do that is with an abomination, because there's only one abomination in the pack, unless you've got the Kickstarter abomination pack, which there's 2, so you could add another abomination there. So you just have to make a judgment call, decide which one you'd want to move him towards. That's up to the player. It's the same with the runners. If you've only got one runner there, you'd have to add another runner and split them. So that's movement. If a zombie attacks a survivor, okay, this is what would happen. Okay, sorry, I had to do something there. I had to pause the video. If this walker here was attacking Josh, what they would do is you'd go to Josh's equipment. Automatically that zombie would take one of Josh's items. Now it's up to the player which item you take. So we'll say the shotgun. It would take the shotgun away, and you'd have to replace it with a wound token. 2 wounds and Josh is dead. So that would be the attacking phase. After you've done the attack and the move phase, then you go to spawning. Before I do the spawning, if this figure was here on his, it was the zombie's turn, and this figure was started in this zone, it would attack Josh. It wouldn't then move, because it would only do that one action. It has to do one or the other, either move, either attack or move, and it has to be done in that order: attack and move. I hope that's clear. If not, you'll see it in the game. The next thing you do is spawn, and the zombies will always spawn up here in the spawn zone. Also, when a survivor smashes open a door to a building, you have to spawn in every single room in that building. So you have to draw a card from your zombie deck, and you have to spawn in every single room. So I'll show you the zombie cards now. There's 3 different types. Here's the first one. If your survivors are all on blue, then you refer to the blue box. If you've got, like we've got here, Josh is on yellow and Amy is on orange, you always spawn on the highest colour, so you'd have to spawn orange. So this way, this means a fatty will spawn on blue. If you pull out a fatty comes with 2 walkers as well, so effectively you're bringing out 3 figures on that one. This one is 3 walkers, 4 walkers and 2 runners. That one there is a symbol for a fatty, but if you notice in the middle it's got a cross. That means an abomination will appear. Abominations appear on their own. They do not appear with any other walkers or zombies. This one here, if you draw this card when spawning, it's got a sewer. This will mean that a zombie, just say this one here is 2 walkers. 2 walkers will be spawned out of the manhole covers from the sewers, but only on a tile where there's 1 or more survivors. So this Josh here is on this tile, so therefore the zombies will be spawned in that manhole, and because you've got Ned up there on that tile, you'd also spawn them there. If Ned was here on this tile with Josh, there's no survivors on that tile, nothing would be spawned in that one, only this one. And finally, this card here, this is one you don't want to see. Instead of spawning, what it says, if you say you're on yellow, all walkers take 1 extra turn. So if you're in this situation here, every single walker on the board will take an extra go. So this walker would attack Ned, and this walker will move in. If they already started on that spot and you pulled this card, all walkers take an extra turn. Both these walkers would attack Ned and kill him. You also get runners as well, and fatties also come up on these cards. So that is not a very good card to have. So basically that is it for the rules. If I've missed a couple of things, please bear with me. I will rectify that when I'm actually playing the game. You will see all the rules in play. So I hope you've sort of understood what I've been trying to say. It's difficult to remember everything when you're looking into a camera lens and pointing at the board. It's a lot easier to remember it when you're playing it. So until my next video, which will be a small little tutorial scenario, so you can see the game in action. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.